At the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in Kenya, Mombasa County quickly became a model county, having taken stringent measures to curb the virus. The coastal town left nothing to chance as the county government moved in with speed to implement the Ministry of Health guidelines.
When COVID-19 was declared as a pandemic, the county government of Mombasa moved very fast to take appropriate measures to ensure that first we secure Mombasa. We came up with different proposals on how to mitigate the impact of the disease. One of the main strategies was to give a tax holiday, recommendations, incentives to be provided to businesses operating in Mombasa.
The Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry KNCCI Mombasa chapter took the lead in conducting awareness programs and sensitizing the citizenry about coronavirus disease, which at the beginning had caused panic. But more paramount to this was the partnerships that emerged amidst the crisis.
We had challenges enough before COVID came onto the scene. All businesses were affected negatively. The economic impact was immediate. The immediate intervention was the face of humanity. We had to engage with the county government and with the private sector as well, and civil service entities. The main concern was to think about those who were not able to fend for themselves. The Chamber played a leading role, spearheaded by the governor, who come up with the nutrition relief program.
Private sector was therefore spearheading the relief program of the county government of Mombasa. And within the membership of that committee, we had the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce. We were able to mobilize resources. We collected about 200 million Kenya shillings through the efforts of the private sector.
The collaborations witnessed at the peak of COVID-19 mitigation efforts were tremendously successful, and evidently it is not enough to act together only during crisis.
Enhance and continue these collaborations and probably put in structures so that they become permanent. We put up a framework so that we continuously work together with government. All of us were more effective.
The pandemic hit at a time when the chamber membership was thriving and various events which provided members opportunities to network had been scheduled.
Restrictions that were put up by the government, social distancing being one of them, and this really impacted negatively in terms of the growth of the chamber membership in Mombasa, because we were no longer allowed to hold public forums. During COVID, we also have initiatives that the Chamber has tried to support its members. And we've also tried to remain in contact with our members as much as possible with regard to sharing of communication and information about what is happening where and how they're able to stay safe.
The control measures set by the national government brought restrictions of movement occasioned by inter-county lockdowns and the curfew. These measures severely impacted business operations, especially those in manufacturing. At Mini Group, a conglomerate of companies cutting across industries, securing employee jobs was a priority.
When COVID came in, the one thing we had to do was be resilient. We didn't give up. We heard that there's going to be a lockdown coming up. So immediately we redesigned ourselves. Said, guys, look, what we'll do is work different shifts. You come in at 5 p.m., you can only go back at 5 a.m. So 12-hour shift. It's quite hectic. And we set up housing here, got a chef. So we kept them nourished very well. There was a major psychological effect on most of the staff. The biggest stress they had on their head was salary cut. We discussed on that. We said, guys, look, first of all, salary cut will not happen as long as we can sustain.
I personally underestimated the impact. I don't think that for 1 second we expected this thing to be so devastating. The crisis also brought to the core the requirement for business to work closely not only with the community but also with the government. The county is using our taxes. So it is important that there has to be consultation to make sure that government policies are aligned with what business is doing and business is aligned to what the community requires.
The Chamber acts as a link between government and businesses, and as such, businesses remain hopeful that KNCCI will intervene on their behalf to help them recoup on their losses. Peter Musimi, a member of the chamber, runs a second-hand stall in Mombasa town. He has been in business since 2013 and is among those who survived the worst in business during the onset of the pandemic, as many neighboring businesses eventually shut down permanently.
Corona ndio ilipokuja, kila mtu akaenda kwao, Kaloleni, Kisumu, Kambani, biashara ikawa unaweza kaa hata siku mbili usiuse, hata fare hauna.
For Simon Kiari, his hope for support is not different. He is running low on stock and is yet to recover from low business experienced at the height of the pandemic.
Covid-19 imeadhiri watu sana, especially hii sekta yetu. Tunajaribu kwa address hiyo issue na county government, watu fanyie waiver ama watupunguzie. So Kenya National Chamber of Commerce tumeomba watu saidie na hiyo nirudishe stock vile ilikuwa.
It is for this reason that KNCCI has dropped in partners whose support will help alleviate the strenuous financial situation SMEs are experiencing.
Mastercard Foundation program that seeks to support businesses that have been impacted negatively by the COVID-19 pandemic. We also had a virtual meeting with Equity Bank, who are looking to put up a framework where members of the chamber can access finances to support their businesses.
On a brighter note, surviving the challenging times presented opportunities for some businesses, creating profitable ways to overcome otherwise detrimental outcomes.
Business is always dynamic, and where there are challenges, there are also opportunities. Companies that were previously doing apparels within the EPZ then immediately found a way of switching to production of PPEs. And at that time, the PPEs came in handy because our medical staff in Mombasa really required these particular equipments. We could not get face masks from outside the country. We also came up with local solutions that helped us stop the spread of COVID-19.
We have to rethink the way we do business. How do we, first of all, benefit from it? How does this new thinking enable us to make financial sense?
Regardless of the size of business, with opportunities came lessons at every level that will help build even greater resilience in the face of uncertain times.
Nimejifunza mambo mengi sana. Kitu ya kwanza, inafaa kwa biashara uwe na akiba pale. Kwa unaenda ku withdraw kupata chakula. Hiyo ndio funzo nimepata mimi tangu corona ianze.
Source locally rather than buying from other countries. And trying to sell your product as much as you can locally, rather depending on foreign markets. Communicating with your clients, and we are all on emails, on Zoom calls, and you have to inform everybody what you're doing.
COVID has taught us that we need to take care of our health more seriously and to work together, not only as individuals, but as a business community and with the government. And together, there is no crisis that we cannot face and overcome.